Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. In so many ways, this episode was pretty bonkers, right? We'll start off with Tate and Holly for a hot minute. So Tate wound up slipping up and telling Holly that Eric was the one that, ran over her dad. Now, she is in disbelief at first. And, at first she's like, why haven't you told me? And because apparently he knew about this when he was a kid, right? And he was like, listen, I thought that you knew. But then Tate starts defending Eric the same way he was defending his dad. And at that point, she was just done, right? So she was like, listen, I need some time to be by myself. Just go. Now, I talked about this in my live stream, I'm pretty sure yesterday or maybe the day before that. It sucks that we all have Ariana still on the show because she's angry at her mom for lying to her for all this time, which I think this chick is like, 18 or 19 now? And they somehow couldn't find the time, they couldn't find the time to sit there and tell her. They was waiting for the right moment. Like, when was the right moment? She was 19 at this point. So, none of that really makes a lot of sense. But it would have been so much more of an impactful scene if she was on the show, as opposed to her just sitting in a park talking to herself until she winds up seeing Eric. Now, John is not there trying to get Brady to fight and be like, listen, don't plead guilty because you don't know all the facts. But Brady is like hell-bent on pleading guilty despite John's pleas, which in all reality, I'm like, bro, again, you want to sit there and turn yourself into the Greek authorities on something that you didn't even remember. So hearing him sit there and say that to his son just sounds pretty stupid. So he tries to no end. Eric comes in there. Now Eric and EJ was sitting there going back and forth, and EJ was sitting there throwing in Eric's face, listen, apparently, this whole hitting people with your car is just kind of running the family. So they go back and forth, and eventually after Eric talks to John, he comes in there, he starts trying to talk to him, and I think he doesn't push too hard as far as trying to get him to change his plea. He's just like, listen, I'm here for you, and, whatever you need, I'll be there for you. He softly brings it up, but he doesn't push as hard as John. Now, Justin, at some point, was talking to John, and there's a point where it's like, we can't sit there and change Brady's mind, but maybe somebody else we can sit there and change. And at first I was like, Sarah, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So, long story short, Justin is not there talking to EJ. And he pretty much just brings up the fact that you don't have any evidence, you have no witnesses, both parties can't remember anything, anyone can come in a police station and sit there and confess to a crime, but given your record so far, do you really want to sit there and risk it? Do you really want to sit there and risk your reputation and your job pretty much on a losing case? Now, EJ really thinks about that because he's like, you already got fired from DiMera. You got fired from DA. Then he got rehired as far as DA. And I don't think he actually wants to get fired again and make Paulina look bad. So as angry as he is, he's like, whatever, fine, I'll let him go for now. So Justin comes in there, and he tells him, listen, you're free to go. And EJ comes in there, EJ's like, listen, the minute I find some more evidence, your ass is grass, pretty much. I still think it's pretty stupid, again, that he's... I get that he wants to sit there and set a good example for his kids. And he's like, listen, there's no other possible way. I was blind drunk. I can't remember anything. And I was in the passenger seat of the car. It had to be me. Now, he did sit there and think, while he was there, he was sitting there thinking about, I guess like the last memory that came to him was Fiona. Of course, he asked Fiona, like, what happened, Fiona. Like, my whole thing is, I feel like he should be sitting there questioning her a lot more because he don't know this chick. He has no idea who this chick is, except for his Xander's mother, which, in all reality, doesn't really speak highly of her, just throwing that out. So maybe he should sit there and really start looking at her, which, by the way, let's go with the Fiona, Xander, and Sarah. So she remembers something. She remembers the car. She remembers being hit. But she can't see Brady's face. But she can't sit there and say who was the person that was in the passenger seat or whatever. So I blur. And Xander wants to sit there and push. Fiona gets all nervous and everything like that. So she tries to shut down the conversation. She's like, oh, well, she's tired. You don't want to sit there and stress her out. Maybe she's hungry, this, that. Like, she does everything that she possibly can to shut down this conversation in the name of, oh, we don't want to push her too hard and everything. So eventually Xander just stops. He goes downstairs. He talks to Maggie. Fiona, I can't even believe I'm sitting there saying this, because she really wants her to go to sleep. Up until a point where she sings her a goddamn lullaby. Yeah, that's right. She sung a grown-ass woman a lullaby to go to sleep. And then she took a pillow and was about to smother this chick. What? Okay. Now, Justin and Maggie were talking. And Maggie, she's finding it very hard to believe that he would do something like that. My only thing is, yeah, I get it. He's a good person. He would sit there and he would give you the shirt off his back. He would have definitely sat there and helped her out and stuff. But sometimes good people do bad things when they are panicking, when they're fearing for their life, whatever it is. That's my only little, I guess, hole in her theory. Now, she did sit there and talk about how she was framed by Orpheus. And of course, Justin's like, that's not the case because we don't have any evidence. But see, that's the thing, though. The whole time he was actually kind of working on his case. When he brought it to EJ, yeah, you don't have any evidence either. You don't have a car. You have a witness. You have two parties that can't remember anything. Except one person that just said that they were guilty because they felt hella guilty over something they don't remember. And you're going to sit there and go to trial with that? So, smart on him. Now, I think that's actually going to do it for this review. That is the general gist of the episode. It still had a good cliffhanger, as silly as it was. A little lackluster. Well, I was tempted to say it was actually decent. It was a decent episode. So yeah, definitely sit there and check it out. If I missed anything, which I'm pretty sure I probably did, write in the comment section below, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.